everybody. It's been a while, but we're back and better than ever. This time, bringing you our preview of the Missouri Valley Conference. And the captain of the ship, Mike Holland, joins me to break down one of the most competitive conferences on a night in and night out basis in all the land, and a league with more than a handful of contenders looking for that increasingly elusive bid to the dance. Recording live from somewhere, this is One and Done.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that One and Done train. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball información. We're powered by the galaxy's greatest website, drroto.com. I'm your sometimes humble host. My name is Jay Heinrich, and if you don't know, you're about to know. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train. Follow me on X at Dr. William Cannon. Follow the show page scrolling across the bottom of your screen there, your viewing device, at One and Done CBB. But do yourself a favor and follow this man first. Around here, he's known as El Capitan himself, the captain of the One and Done ship. He does the ship, I do the train. At MC Holland 34 on X, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, it is a fun conference to talk about every year, a fun conference to follow and to watch and to cover. It's Missouri Valley night, man. What to do?
Yeah, man, and we're on conference number 23 tonight, man. So we've done 22, guys and gals. Go out and check the past 22. We're climbing in on 2 months on doing conference previews. Pretty excited because this is one of my favorite conferences. I'm sure any longtime listeners will know that I am a huge fan of the Missouri Valley Conference, as is Jay. Just super competitive, man. Just a lot of quality basketball programs in here. And look, we know Monday Night Football's on. It's actually a really good matchup. I was watching it earlier, but who is it? Joe Buck's on the call. Like, just put him on mute and just throw us on, man. Learn about some MVC hoops here.
Yeah, not only that, but why don't you hop in the live chat and discuss it with us? We'd love to hear from you. Hop in there, hit that subscribe button so you can do it. We got a nice little bump. We're talking about bumping up those numbers the last time we were talking, Mike, in studio, and we got a few of you guys and gals maybe push that button. Over 1,571 actually.
Oh yeah,
breadheads, hoop heads, whatever you want to call it.
Getting ready for the season.
You've hit that button. We're firing it up, Mike. We're talking about how we're seeing everybody's watching all the conference previews from before. Those numbers are starting to tick up. People are itching, man. People are wanting some college basketball. Bruce Pearl's leaving. Hey, crazy things happening in the world of college hoops right now. But for tonight, let's talk MVC. Mike, MVC ranked 10th out of 31 in KenPom Strength of Conference last year. And Drake, Drizzy, OVO. No, this isn't the OVC. This is the MVC, and not the OVO like Drake would say. But Drake, the school, obviously. Drake won the regular season crown over Bradley by 2 games, and then also beat Bradley. Got the double, and Bradley right there ripping defeat out of the jaws of victory twice there. Drake getting that 11 seed by getting that bid, and then beating 6 seed Missouri actually in the opening round. So shout out MVC getting a tournament win last year, before following to Texas Tech in the round of 32. What are your quick thoughts, Mike, on the MVC before we get to our world-famous tiers?
Yeah, so one thing you'll notice is we just talked about Conference USA last week, and we're down from 12 to 11 teams because Missouri State has left the MVC. So, yeah, we're kind of in a weird spot here. I don't know. Something feels weird when you have like 7, 9, 11 teams. I don't know, man. But, yeah, this is we talked about it, man. It's a competitive league, 28th in blowout percentage during conference play. Like, just teams are going to hang around. You're going to get quality games down the stretch here. And this has really been a launch pad. Just you can expect the coaches that are at the top of this conference, and if they're showing, any type of sustained success for even a short amount of time, they're, getting the old call up to the the P5, we still call it Power 5 because we consider Big East in basketball a power program. So yeah, man, we're starting to get obviously some big coaching names pulled from this conference, man. So just a fun one, man. I'm ready to dive in. But you know who else is ready to dive in? Jay, got your boy Mason up in the comments here. We appreciate that, Mason.
Mason's been hopping in quite a bit throughout the conference preview series, and it's always good to see him in there. Why don't you join him in the live chat? We see you hanging out in the lobby watching. We'd love to hear from you. Hit that button if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you're not going to want to miss any of these, these power conference previews coming up, the multi-bid conferences that we have. Often our most viewed preview shows every offseason, and it makes sense. It's a lot of the names that we know, that we see, that we talk on our DFS shows, so totally makes sense. So make sure you push that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a minute of our college basketball coverage. All right, good deal. Let's get to it, Mike. Without further ado, let's get to those world famous tiers. Let's start down at the bottom, the foundation. We try to bring a little positivity to what could be seen as a not very positive thing here. And unfortunately here, looks like we've got some.
Oh yeah, we're flipped today. We're going.
Yeah,
we're flipped today, my man.
So we got the okay. So what are we looking at here?
We got the old high tier down in the low, man. So we're gonna show a lot of positivity tonight.
All right. Okay. All right. So what do you want to do, Mike? Do you want to cover the teams there on the screen? Do you want to do the high tier there?
I think we'll go on the fly here. We'll pull down the graphic and we'll just go off the cuff here. We'll keep it in, we'll keep it as per usual. We'll start with the low tier, man, and get those kind of out of the way because we like to have that crescendo there at the end for the old which you just got to look at. Just got to look at.
Yeah, but that's all right. So obviously a very top heavy team here in terms of, or a league, I should say, in terms of how many teams we have in our high tier. But the low tier, Mike, just 3 teams. Starts with Valparaiso. The Beacons 6-14 in the conference last year. Finally got a little bit of momentum going with 15 total wins. But Roger Powell's squad, the outlook sort of, again, let's look for some positive things if we can. There's so many people left this program. Mike Schweigers, both of them, Schmidt, Wright, others hit the portal, so there's not anybody on this roster that logged more than 11 minutes per game last year. If you want to talk about a player to watch, maybe somebody that we can say, okay, if this guy gets the ceiling, maybe it'll make a difference for the Beacons. Let's talk about Tulsa wing Isaiah Barnes coming in 9.3 points and 4.6 rebounds for Tulsa last year. He's going to be the offensive centerpiece, right? So if he's averaging 16 points efficiently and everybody else is chipping in, but it's going to take a lot for Valpo to get out of this low tier, Mike. So I sort of gave it away. There's 3 teams down here in the low tier with Valparaiso down there starting it off. Who are the other 2 that are going to sort of form that foundational?
Yeah, and I got you here, and I like Matt and Mason diving in here, man. These are some ball knowers, and definitely not the top 5. And Mason, I don't know, man. We'll talk about Drake here in a second, but we'll get to the Evansville Purple Aces and the Indiana State Sycamores down here in our bottom tier. And for Evansville, man, like Coach David Ragland, he's done a nice job. Increased the conference win total each year, thanks to a stout defensive effort from his program. So, man, you take a look at it, and like they get forwards Joshua Hughes back, Connor Turnbull, who I believe was at Butler a couple of years ago. He averaged nearly double figures, but they're going to need to be much more effective on the offensive end if they want to turn things around. And I think they can get some help. Vanderbilt transfer Alex Hemingway just never really gotten big amounts of opportunity in the P5 ranks, but I think he can kind of boost their ceiling, but he's more of a floor spacer. So if he's able to shoot over 40%, that's definitely going to help. But this is one team in this tier that I think could make a jump in the mid, kind of if the ball bounces that way. And then you have the Sycamores, and just a tough spot, right, for Matthew Graves taking over for Josh Schertz and what he was able to do in the 3 years. That was just a tough ask. So they did go 8-12, so they were kind of hovering around that bottom of the mid tier last year, but we do see them taking a step back. Look, the tempo, style of play, it's pretty fun. The defense was pretty miserable, though, last year. I just don't see how they can improve much with the roster here, and I do think they take a step back offensively. I do like the wing Camp Wagner, 10 points per game, 38% from 3. He's going to take on a ton of usage because he's got a lot of unknowns at this level around him, man. Like Florida A&M transfer guard Sterling Young scored a lot of points, man, but this is a huge jump in competition. So how he adjusts the MVC is definitely going to be an X factor for this team. So, yeah, I mean, these teams have some talent, man. So, ball bounces one way. But it's, when we start talking about this mid-tier and the teams in the high tier, you just look pound for pound, and these are probably the 3 teams that'll finish at the bottom.
Matt agreeing, saying that Young is a good get for Indiana State. Oftentimes, you got to see it if that game transfers over, right? 17 points per game for Florida A&M might not be directly transferable into a conference as competitive as the MVC. But if they can get enough out of him, who knows? Let's see. Indiana State, Evansville, who we saw that Matt says will be dead last in this conference, and Valpo.
Matt just calling a shot right
there. I love it. I mean, everybody wants to plant their flag for who the winner is going to be. How come we don't see more people saying dead last?
Positivity. That's why, Jay.
All right. We are trying to keep.
You're trying to put the high tier teams in the low tier tonight, man.
Sheesh.
You never know what you're gonna get on one and done, bro.
Hey, this is. Oh, write it. We'll do it live. All right. Hey, sometimes you just got to go with the flow here. And unfortunately, going with the low is Indiana State, Evansville, and Valparaiso down in our bottom tier. Push those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Join Matt and Mason all over the live chat. It's good to see the guys in there. We'd love to hear from you. If you're hanging out watching us, just say hi, drop a fire emoji in there, a little flame emoji.
Tell Jay where he's wrong, and tell me where I'm right. Like, that's all good.
Yeah, it's okay. It sounds very familiar in this house. But anyways, how you doing? Keep it moving here to the old mid-tier. And here's where, to go back up, Mason making a comment that earlier that was not our top 5 because we didn't see Drake. Well, here's the thing, my man.
Calling a shot.
Here's the thing, my man. We want to take flag plans for dead last. We want to take flag plans for who's going to win it. I think, for me, Drake takes a step back this year. Okay, gonna have Drake in the old mid-tier. This is obviously a program that established themselves as one of the premier mid-majors in the country. Ben McCollum last year. Of course,
friend of the show,
Coach DeVries. Obviously, I mean that's how long we've been doing it. As we were interviewing Coach DeVries when he was still at Drake back in the day. If you want to go back and get a giggle out of that interview, go back in time and watch that one. We talk about some pups out there on the scene. But back to like I said, it was McCollum. DeVries, and then now new head coach Eric Henderson. I think that it's going to take him a second. I think the magic slows down at least this year, and that's obviously Coach Henderson. We know he's had some success at South Dakota State, had some teams with NBA and high major type talent. When it comes to Drake this year, Owen Larson was a part of that program with Henderson last year before tearing his ACL. Hoping I'm going to ignore that comment because I don't want Mike to get out of control. The only mid Drake is the singer. Man, we could go on. Wow, Mason. I mean, this is
just derailed the show completely.
I mean, just completely threw me off there. No, okay, but listen, Larson, Loyola transfer guard Jalen Quinn, Charlotte transfer guard Ja'Shawn Thomas coming in. So I like the backcourt. I worry about depth, but I mostly worry about the front court here for Drake this year. So that is why I feel like we see them take a step back, at least for 1 year. And again, with 5 teams in the high tier here in this conference, there's room for movement.
Yeah, there is.
Right? Matt saying Drake will be down, agreeing with us a little bit here. So whether or not he feels like they belong in this mid-tier, either way, we shall see. But yeah, going to put Drake in the mid-tier. And then let's go to Southern Illinois, the Salukis. Mike, 8-12 in the conference last year, which was year 1 of the Scott Nagy era. And it was a little bit shaky. You would have been much more successful if they could make a free throw, just hit anything from the charity stripe. And, obviously, if you're turning the ball over a ton, that's not going to help you win games either. So what are your thoughts on Southern Illinois, Mike?
Yeah, that's not going to help, man. Southern Illinois, they got to replace Deba, Davis, Elliott. Damian Mayo is an interesting player. He's definitely going to step into a higher usage type role here. Prince of League big, kind of interesting. Down transfer from Seton Hall. He's transferring in. Obviously playing tougher competition in the Big East. He's a guy that's flashed. Just need to find some offensive consistency from him. And Like the Valpo transfer guard Isaiah Stafford. We know he can score in this league. Can he do it efficiently? So my thing is like the offensive efficiency on this team is kind of like I wouldn't say red flag, but it's kind of a yellow flag for me. I think defensively they're going to be okay. It's just really can they get key buckets and can they keep from like throwing up clankers, every other night? So that's kind of going to be the big thing here. And then we have UIC, man, the Flames. They were 10-10 last year, and man, Rob Eason, like stark improvement from the Luke Yaklich era. Man, the momentum from that group is completely gone. When you look at this roster, you're like, okay, you got one piece back. You got Ahmad Henderson, which is nice. He's your point guard, 11.5 points, 2.5 assists. The new pieces that are coming in, Jay, they're talented, but man, another question mark on the effectiveness offensively. Like, there's some major holes on this roster. So you have Little Rock transfer forward, Ante Bellion. He averaged 10 and 4.5. Central Connecticut transfer, Abdul Momo. I do like that he's a nice, paint patroller for them. I think those two can kind of fit well together, but man, yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. Like last year was a little bit of a surprise for UIC. I think we see them hover around 9-10 type wins here, man. So, Mason diving in here, talking about Elijah Crawford. So, yeah, it's just tough, man. We're going to see every year in the MVC, we see a teardrop. Like we'll see somebody from the low jump to the mid. We'll see somebody from the mid jump to the high. Like this is not like blowout percentage. Nobody gets blown out. It's going to be a game every night. You get a couple of things go your way. You find a couple of diamonds in the rough. And you gotta think that there's some things are going to kind of be wacky in this conference where we see a couple of tear jumpers for sure.
We see it every year, and no doubt this year will retain that. We like to joke around about here that the tiers are like stone cold locked, that this is exactly how it's going to happen, how we have it listed out on our show. But obviously, like there's room for movement, and there's always players that find a way to step up and shine. And before we leave the mid tier here, we have a question about a player.
Isaiah Carr.
About Isaiah Carr,
yeah.
A guy that spent a couple of years at Denver, a season at Grand Canyon, as a sophomore, 76 blocks. So, I mean, if that's a sort of defending that Drake is going to get here, that's somebody in the front court that could maybe step up a little bit. Even outside of that, though, like.
I just don't love offensively. I mean, 46% from a 7-footer.
Yeah, who's going to score the ball? That's not. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, defensively, if he can get some stops around the bucket on that end, wonderful. And they're going to need it in this conference.
The problem with Drake, Jay, is like Owen Larson, 40% from the field. Like I get he shot 39% from three, but Jalen Quinn, 23% from three. Jay-Sean Thomas 42% for the field. Exacte Williams like 37% for the field, 26% from three. Like, yeah, they're gonna be able to defend a little bit, but man, like, just offensively, man, I don't love it.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's move on from Drake before we get some more Drake slander in the chat.
Yeah, let me. No, I'm just kidding. Go on for it.
Drake, Southern Illinois. And UCI, Illinois, Chicago, the Flames there in the old mid tier. Let's get on to the high tier now. Shout out to
opposite day for the high tiers today.
Yeah, it was flipped in the graphics. If you were paying attention earlier in the show, you saw our 5 teams that we have in our high tier. First of all, shout out to Nate, the Hall of Famer himself. CC Hustle pushing it at Nate C Hustle over on Twitter. Give him a follow. Shout out to you, Nate. Hanging out, getting you those comments, flashing it up. Doing a good job back there pushing all those buttons. Shout out to our guy at Fantasy Nav and those Twitter streets. Also, Eric the Blue in the studio set up. Shout out to Eric as well. Shout out to you for hanging out with us. Push those like and subscribe buttons. If you haven't already, 1,571 of your fellow hoop heads have already done the same. At least that's what the number was at the time of recording. By the time you watch this with your Fruit Loops in the morning, we could be 11 gazillion fulfillion and one. We could already have that many subscribers. You want to be able to say you were a part of this before
I'm dead.
Before we
Matt.
move on, Matt asking the questions that really everybody wants to know. Where has Peanut Butter Posse been? Maybe once we get into some power conference stuff, once we talk about Big Blue.
No, he'll be
a
here
little
for
bit,
SEC.
he'll be around for that for sure. But Matt and Mason pulling the weight in the live chat tonight.
Seriously, man.
It's
Love
good
it.
to see it.
On a
Ball
Monday
knowers.
night.
Got a bunch of ball knowers. Monday Night Football on one viewing device, one and done on the other. Shout out to everybody for hanging out with us for sure. All right, let's get to that high tier, Mike. And 5 of them, 11 teams in this conference. There are 5 teams in our high tier. Let's lead it off with Illinois State, the Red Blades, 10-10 in the conference last year. And if you watched our top 5 mid-major show, Mike, remember doing that? What feels like a year and a half ago at the beginning of this offseason-ish. They were the final member of our top 5 mid-major show from a few months ago. And then, when you look at the job that Ryan Peden has done there, this is a squad worthy
I like this
of
roster.
the high tier in this conference, to say the least.
Yeah, they're gonna have big expectations this year, man. Like, you're getting star guard Johnny Kissinger back, can absolutely light it up from 3. He's a weapon. Chase Walker, man, like his per like 40 stuff is pretty good, man. He just absolutely stuffs the stat sheet per minute. 15 points, 6 boards, shot 36% from 3. I do like the add of Landon Moore from Butler. I think he can be a nice little player in this conference. You bring in one of the better scorers in the Summit League, Wing Bowden Schoonberg. They have size when you look at this roster. Continuity's there. The outside shooting is definitely there. Just an absolutely dangerous squad, man. I really do like this squad here. So we got Illinois State here starting out our high tier. We've got 5 teams because we think it's just going to be super competitive at the very top. We got the Belmont Bruins, 13-7 last year. Casey Alexander, man, runs one of the most fun, up-tempo, like 3-point barrage programs in the country. It's led to him winning 20-plus wins in all 6 years that he's been there. And really, this program just wins 20-plus every single year. They've done it every year since 2011. So we expect Belmont to obviously challenge for the league crown and the tourney bid. You got Tyler Lundblade, 48% from 3 on some volume here. And he's going to get all the shots and minutes he can handle, Jay. They lost a lot around him, but they got Sam Orm back. He's a nice player, can shoot the 3 as well. He's going to step into a bigger role. They added Nick McLean from Eastern Washington to run the point. David Riley's former program over there. Those guys get up and down. I know obviously Riley at Washington State now, and Dan Monson there. But yeah, Nick McLean, like just a nice add for them at the point guard position, and just a quality program. Probably doesn't get talked about enough, right? Like everybody talks and rants and raves about Drake and Bradley, right? Like, just got to give some love to the Belmont Bruins here, man.
Yeah, I'm with that. Love to the Belmont Bruins for sure. And I wanted to give some love to the live chat here. John, good to see you there, John, asking what day the American preview is next week. Are we going to go Tuesday, right? We're going tomorrow? If you're watching Monday. Mañana,
yeah, tomorrow.
Live. John, we hope to see you back for sure for the American preview.
Comments are going to be flooded by Darren probably, so be prepared.
That's all right, but John, I'm sure John's a ball knower and he'll be contributing to the live chat as well. Even if Darren is hanging out with us for sure. Darren, Darren knows his stuff. Let's go. All right, Darren. All right, John, good to see you, man. All right, let's scroll back up here real quick. Mason saying Illinois State looks scary, but got to go with Murray State for his pick. We'll talk about Murray State. Here, they're actually the last team that we'll talk about, so that's a little bit, just stick around, and we'll get to them. Oh, Matt saying he's watching Monday Night Raw. Shout out to shout out to La Primera for coming out with the women's world title tonight. She's pretty amazing. We got Rhea Ripley and Asuka on Monday Night Raw in the year of our Lord 2025. What a time to be alive.
I'm pretty sure Matt is a Jay Heinrich fan and not a Mike, because we got WWE Raw and we got Drake slander. So we obviously trying to tell us something without telling us something.
Hey, I think Matt and I right here. I love it, dude. I love it. Hey, let's get to the rest of this high tier before getting on out of here. And I'm going to talk about Northern Iowa here, 14-6 last season. Ben Jacobson just continues to win at a high level in the MVC since he took over in 06-07, and I believe just got himself a little contract extension as well. But they haven't been able to earn themselves a tourney berth since the 15 and 16 season. Titan Anderson, Jacob Hudson, those are two big losses in the front court that are going to hurt. The good news is, I love me a backcourt, and that backcourt is still intact. Trey Campbell, Max Wiesbrod, Ben Schweiger, all going to keep the floor super high for this squad, and that's why they're in this high tier. But again, another concern that I've had with multiple teams in this conference is front court play. Just Northern Iowa's floor, I think, is just a little bit higher, and that gets them into this high tier. So guys like Tristan Smith coming in, you hope that the game transfers over from the NAIA. Will Hornseth, Ishmael Doof coming in from NC State. Out of all of the teams that we're going to talk about in this high tier, I think Northern Iowa probably scares me the most. But again, Northern Iowa, let's have them up here in the high tier and see if Coach Jacobson can figure it out and get back to that tournament. And then, Mike, Bradley and Murray State, how about take Bradley here, 15-5 in the conference last year under Brian Wardle. The Braves have been awesome. To steal from The Miz, another wrestling reference here tonight. Fourth straight year, Mike, that they finished inside KenPom's top 100.
Yeah, they got some talent to replace, but you just kind of expect that the guys that they bring in, the guys that are in the program, are just going to develop, and they're just going to continue to be good. That's what Coach Wardle's done here. I mean, Jaquan Johnson, Demarion Birch, they're going to step into bigger roles in the backcourt. Amit Genovich and Corey Thomas in the front court. I do like this addition out of the horizon, man. Right state guard Alex Hubricks, 13.5 points, 3 assists, 37% from three. He's a guy that we really liked last year for them. Look, man, they might not have like the preseason like they've had over the past couple of years, but obviously they have the program pedigree, and they kind of circle back here as Matt kind of chimes in, but he's dropping into, Leon Bond's going to be a pretty good player there for Northern Iowa. Definitely gonna agree with that. So you definitely don't mind what Northern Iowa has. You definitely don't mind Bradley's roster, and then obviously the coaching. And then we had someone comment, I forget if it was Matt or John or Mason, that jumped in here saying that Murray State was the pick that you mentioned a second ago, Jay. But yeah, I mean, you got Ryan Miller taking over. Steve Prom stepped down at the end of last season. Really done a great job assembling talent. So yeah, Mason jumping in there, obviously with the Murray State pick, but a bunch of Power 5 transfers, man. JJ Traynor from DePaul, formerly of Louisville. You got Frederick King following over from Creighton, man. I think he could be interesting. You got KJ Tenner, Mason Miller. So look, man, I think a lot of this is going to rely on Central Arkansas point guard, the transfer Lane Taylor. He had a tremendous freshman year. I think he's going to be a key for them. Someone not to sleep on, man. They got this 7-foot center, Dylan Anderson from Boise State. He's got a lot of intriguing upside. And then you've got international guys here, man, like Roman Damon, all kinds of upside here. He played in France's top league. So, well, we're going to start talking about a lot more international guys as we get into the power conferences. And, we kind of saw all off season that these guys are coming over and they're going to make a big impact. So, well, it may take a while, Jay, for Murray State to get it going, man. This team, if they gel, like they have some pretty serious upside here.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. I was really hoping that you would lean into the French pronunciation, Roman Dumont, like give it a little Dumont.
I can't.
I thought you would do it for all the racer fans out there. All right, so for the record, let's go back. Now let's go from high to low here. Up at the top of our Missouri Valley tiers, in the high tier, Illinois State, Belmont, Northern Iowa, Bradley, and Murray State. If you're joining us late and you're like, you didn't say Drake, that's right. That's because we have Drake in our mid tier along with Southern Illinois and Illinois Chicago. Cam,
yeah, if they strike gold for the fourth coach in a row, like
I'm not saying
I just don't.
But
yeah,
I mean,
not saying they won't. Yeah, probably next year, man. Air conditioner will get it going.
Let's give it a minute, okay? Let's give it a second. Ben McCollum will be fine. I'm not ready to put them in that high tier yet. Valpo, Evansville, the Purple Aces. Sure. Okay. And Indiana State, the Sycamores, the Fighting Larry Birds down there in the low tier of the MVC. How about it, Mike? They got to look at our pretty faces taking up their whole viewing devices for the whole show.
I don't know that they love that, but
all right, Matt getting in. Who? Oh, okay. He's actually going the chop here.
I'm going Evansville.
That the regular season. Yeah, sure you will. The regular season saying UNI and Illinois State tying for first.
There's definitely probably going to be a tie in this league. Like that's. I mean, we're 3-3-5 on the tiers, man. Even though we tried to go 5-3-3 tonight, but
who you got, Mike?
I'm gonna take Belmont and Illinois State to chop it up, man. Belmont and Illinois State to chop it up.
I mean, are you? I let you talk about Bradley, and we're gonna just shun them out like this, like. I mean, the team that finished behind the second place in the regular season last year, and then made it to the MVC tournament championship, and we're just like,
yeah,
let's. I'm gonna take Bradley. I'm gonna do it. I'm taking Bradley to win this one. Mason dropping Belmont.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Let's get the crowd. See, the crowd was all in.
All right,
get a heel turn at the end, bro.
I love it. Good stuff, man. Hey, Cam, by the way, I don't think we got this one up earlier, saying Coach Jacobson has been on his flight 2 times on a Final Four weekend from Iowa to the host state. Of course, Cam, the godfather of Iowa bowling at the University of Iowa.
And the godfather of Final Four appearances.
And yeah, exactly. And we saw Cam, the one and done crew saw Cam out there in San Antonio at the Final Four. It was good to see Cam, and it's good to see everybody hanging out with us live. You could be watching anything. You could be watching Monday Night Football. You could be watching Monday Night Raw. You could be watching reruns of Desperate Housewives, whatever you could be doing with your time. But instead, you're hanging out with us here on One and Done, and we definitely appreciate that. I appreciate Darren hopping in. Darren, I asked
here we go, Darren.
Darren, I asked before the show, I said, didn't North Texas get a couple of top 25 votes? And sure enough, Mike looked it up, and that is correct. And I saw your message, my man, on Twitter. Good, and thanks for reaching out and interacting with us on the socials as you always do. Shout out to Darren, shout out to Mason, Matt, CT Huggins, C Thuggin, Cam, the man of many names, but he's just the man. All right, we got John that's going to be here tomorrow night, Mike, for the American preview as well. So
Darren,
shout out
get ready.
John. Get ready for the American preview, and get ready for
UNT in the low tier, baby. Fired up.
Who else? It's the WCC. Kidding. I was trying to come up with who our other show will be this week. So we're going to go American Tuesday, and then later this week we'll go WCC. You're going to want to be tuned in for all of it, Mike. Well, I know, Mike, you'll be tuned in. You'll be here with me, but they want to be tuned in for it. Anybody but Memphis. We'll see, Matt. We shall see. We hope you're hanging around with us along with everybody else. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you watch this show live, if you're watching later, leave a comment, do whatever you got to do to show us some love and let us know you were here. Shout out to @FantasyNav. Shout out to what is it now? What is
It doesn't matter.
No,
at Napesy Hustle.
Napesy Hustle. That's it. We got it at Napesy Hustle @FantasyNav. I am Matt. That guy on the screen right there. No, that's not important yet. This is more important. At MC Hot and 34, the captain of the One and Done ship. At One and Done CBB on all the socials. Tell somebody that you love them. Take care of yourself. Let's get out of here before it's completely off the rails. We love you and we appreciate you all. My name is JAYHEIN RICH. Come again. Peace.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.